Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. I'll be your MC for tonight. I'm Juvie De Loreto. So let me just see a thumbs up if I'm coming in loud and clear from your end. Awesome. Thank you so much, Olive. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome those who are here attending for the very first time. Thank you, friend, for inviting you tonight in our community, as well as I'd like to welcome those who are here attending regularly in our community. Tonight is actually one of our programs in our community. We call this Optimal Self. So this event is brought to you by Syzygy PH. We are a search and development organization that educate, equip, and empower individuals and professionals to live life of passion, purpose, and excellence through our Optimal Life programs that focuses on health, personal growth, and finances, and that's business or entrepreneurship. And tonight, we are very blessed to have with us our co-founder of our community, Syzygy. She is actually an international business speaker. But before I let her in, let me just do a quick shout out. If you guys are here for the very first time, please let us know where you're from and what you do. I can give a very quick one. But I'm seeing regular attendees, no, they are coming from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Yeah, awesome. So, yes, just maximize our chat box, no? So just put there where you're from and what you do. And also, after this session, we'll be having a short breakout room so you can chit chat with your friends, no? And share with them of what you've your takeaways for tonight's session. So that's it. So let me just check. All right, so let me welcome Titus, no? He is an IT and data privacy practitioner all the way from Quezon City. Also Chad, a software engineer from Cavite, a business owner, Matetrico, all the way from the Gapan coming in, guys. So yeah, I won't keep much time of our presenter tonight because she has a lot in store for us on this topic, the happiness project. So are you looking, or I think, no, we are all here tonight because we are looking for practical ways to increase our happiness and overall well-being. And tonight, book sharing, no, our presenter will share with us some practical insights as well as some actionable advice that she picked up from this book and also some of her insights as well. So without further ado, please help me welcome with your virtual clap. Let's all hear from our presenter, the co-founder of Syzygy, an international and business speaker, Miss Olive Bernabe. Hi, Olive.
Hello, good evening. Hang on. Welcome, everyone, and congratulations for being in this book session. You know, it's always really quite admirable. I admire people who love to learn and who attend book events because you're growing your mind one way or the other. And just to let you know, I'm part of a global learning company called N21. And this company provides a book subscription every month. And that is how I began reading and falling in love with books. And this particular book came to me a few months ago, The Happiness Project. Well, I just decided I would, hold on, that I would, hold on, let me just check my slides. Okay. There you go. And read it. And actually, it's a very refreshing book to read. It has a lot of meat in it, but it's kind of entertaining. And some chapters are very light to read, and some are a little heavy. I'm impressed with the author. Her name is Gretchen Rubin. She's very young, but she's so well read. No wonder she writes so well and has so much rich experience in her life. Now, what she did is that she decided to focus on this big word that is quite elusive to us. It's called happiness. And she decided to focus on it, hold on, in 12 months in a year, focusing on something every single month. So we're going to go through this quickly to see how she unravels this happiness project. She wanted to find out what causes people to be happy. So let's start. The Happiness Project is Gretchen Rubin's one-year experiment on becoming a happier woman. The author says that when it comes to happiness, listen to this, according to research, genetics accounts for 50%. Oh, so genetics plays a role. Life circumstances 1 to 20%. And all the rest is up to how you think and act. It's not about the circumstances around you. Her personal happiness project consisted in focusing each month on a specific area of her life, which she wanted to improve. Because sometimes when you think about how can I be happier, it's just so broad, so vast, you really don't know how to approach it. So let's see how she broke it down. January. She talks about boosting your energy. Bakit? Mahina ba energy natin? Is our energy so low? Perhaps. And she recommends 2 books, actually, if we can have that slide of the 2 books. The Power of Positive Thinking and As a Man Thinketh. So she starts off with recommending these books. Research shows that happiness energizes you, and being energetic gives you a higher self-esteem and a firepower to entertain activities that make you happier, like socializing. So how do you boost your energy? Here are her tips. Next slide. Go to sleep earlier. It makes a difference. Having 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that makes a big difference. Because if you don't sleep well, you're cranky, you're impatient, you're irritable. Exercise better. Oh, that works for me. I feel so good when I exercise. Toss, restore, organize. That means get rid of clutter, because I'm guilty of this. I tend to collect clutter. And once you get rid of it, you feel lighter. Your room looks better. You feel more organized. You're proud of yourself. Tackle a nagging task. You see, I recently moved to a new home, a condominium, and there's stuff all over the place. And I've been postponing getting the stuff organized. And I tell you, every time I look at it, I'm not happy. And I know that if I do this task of organizing, I'm going to feel really much better. Act more energetic. Because you know what? Next slide. I'm sorry. When you act energetic, you feel energetic. Your actions and your emotions combine. Even if you don't feel the emotion, when you just act it, you're going to feel it. There's an experiment. I'll show you later. Next slide. The results. When she tried to organize, she tried to sleep earlier, she tried to act more energetic. The result, she was impressed with the mental energy that she got. Try it. February. This is a funny, funny chapter. I can't believe that she would write like this. Remember love marriage. She talks about the seven principles. Well, this is marriage work. Now, what was entertaining about this chapter is that she was so honest to reveal how irritated she was with her husband, Jane, and that she has a very strong personality, a very demanding personality, and she would expect her husband to perform the same way. And when he did not, there was this issue in their marriage. She was constantly irritated and mad and trying to hide it and simmering. It was funny that she could tell the truth. Now, this particular month for the author, Gretchen, she tackles this romantic relationship with her husband. So, these are her suggestions. Argue well and avoid. You can argue, but argue well. Avoid the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Criticism. Number 1, we know what that is. Contempt. Contempt is you are so mad at a person, you disapprove of a person so much that you really cut him off and you don't want to talk to him. Defensiveness, blaming somebody else, not me. Maybe it's somebody else, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And stonewalling is just evading the issue and putting a wall, not communicating well. For me, stonewalling would be like the silent treatment, a big, thick wall, and there's no communication. Now, next page, still about marriage. The author resolved to stop these. Nagging. We all know what nagging is. The lack of the expression of praise and appreciation. Okay. Fight right. You can fight, agree to disagree. No dumping. Dumping is really saying a lot of negative and throwing it like it's some kind of garbage, and give proofs of love. So that's what she decided she would do. Maybe love letters or something. But she actually did an experiment, and this is called, she decided that for 1 week, this author, she was going to be extremely nice. And she called this experiment, next slide, please, the week of extreme nice. Can we have the next slide? Now, what is this? During this week, she would go above and beyond in giving and asking for nothing. Extremely nice. This was very difficult to do because, as I said, she had a very strong personality and very always clashing with her husband. But then she decided to swallow all of this and just be super nice. And after one week, guess what happened? She was very disappointed because her hubby failed to recognize and appreciate this effort of extreme nice. Anyway, that's her story. March, let's go to March. Aim higher. These are things that she focused on to create happiness in her life, work. She talks about launching a blog that gave her a lot of fulfillment. She's a very good author, a very good writer. Ang galing niya, the way she writes is really impressive. And she actually enjoyed. She had a different perspective of failure. She saw the fun in failure. Ask for help. You need to be humble and ask for help as you work. And you need to work smart, not just hard, but smart, using techniques of time management and even many other techniques that we teach actually in our business community, like time leveraging. That's a very important concept when you work, is that you benefit from the efforts of many people and not just your own. And enjoy now. Enjoy it. Challenge and novelty are key elements of happiness. You see, when you're always in your comfort zone, like for me, I find it boring. I love to do things. I love to do challenging things. That's where I get my joy, actually. And I love doing this book sharing because I need to study a book, I need to prepare for it, and I need to absorb it more. And I learn from that. And so I like this challenge. Enthusiasm is also more important than the innate ability in reaching mastery. You know, again, you can reach mastery or you can be ordinary but enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is more important because it fuels your willingness to practice, and it shows in your work, in whatever you do, that you're enthusiastic about it. Enthusiasm, God is within. That's what it means. So this fallacy, next page, the arrive fallacy, it's not true. And we should all learn, instead of thinking, I'm going to be happy when I get the new house, I'm going to be happy when I achieve a new level in my business, I'm going to celebrate and really be happy when I make this kind of money, you know, so many digits. That's not true. Be happy now. Enjoy the destination. Enjoy the journey. The idea that this has to happen, actually, when X happens, we'll be happier. That's not true. That's what she said. Now let's move on. April, lighten up. Parenthood. Okay. The author realizes that this is true. This is true. Acting the way you want to feel works. You act, you know, a psychiatrist actually did an experiment. She's called Amy Cuddy. Now, this is another book. She actually experimented on doing big actions, you know, keeping your head up high, expanding your chest, walking with your chin up high. And people would actually, they tested the hormones of people who acted like that, acted confident, and their confidence hormones actually went up just by changing their movement. Can you believe? And at the same time, when they did this experiment, the people who participated didn't even know it was an experiment. They were told, you act like you're making yourself small. You try to look down and feel small, look small, and cross your legs. You know what? Their confidence level went down. Your act, that they tested it on the hormones again, because they tested before and after by spitting on a petri dish. So when you want to act confident and happy, you will be confident and happy. Just do the actions. And then when you do the opposite, you will also feel unhappy and you will lack confidence. Lighten up. Now, she talks about parenthood. Here are some other things. I'll talk about sing in the morning. Talks about that. Lighten up, even if you're not a good singer. Acknowledge the reality of people's feelings. Be open about feelings, discussing feelings, listening to people. Be a treasure house of happy memories. Think back of the happy times, not of the negative times. And take time for projects. Like this 1 year, she did the happiness project. Well, that's because she wanted to test each month as a certain topic, and she would focus on that. So this particular month, she would sing in the morning and do all these things. So what is a project you would like to do? Take time for projects. Would you like to learn something, perhaps learn to cook a new dish, or begin to bake different recipes of desserts that you can share with your family, or even use during parties instead of buying outside, and you can even make it healthier? Is that a project you would like to do? I've been watching YouTube videos on healthy desserts instead of the high sugar stuff, and that's a project I would like to do. Healthy desserts. What is your project? I'm sure that if I try to do this, I'll be happier because I've succeeded in something, and that is truly, truly, truly important. Okay, so we're talking about sing in the morning. The next slide. May. Be serious about play or leisure. Okay. Next slide. Find more fun. All right. Do fun things. Now, we're all different. There are many, many things that you consider fun. Some people, for them, fun is going to a party and chit-chatting with friends. I'm sure those of you who we call flags, like my son Ryan, that's not his kind of fun. It's not my kind of fun either. My kind of fun would be a small group, small, very small, maybe even one-on-one, and not a party with a lot of socializing. So it depends. What's your fun? But be serious about the fun. Take time to be silly. I remember in the past and even today, my kind of silly is putting makeup on men. I'm also in the beauty industry, in the skincare industry, putting makeup on men and dressing them up like women. I mean, I would do that for Christmas, for a party, for crazy but fun. Go off the path. Meaning, don't do the same routine over and over again. She talks about going to the park and wanting to read her newspaper. That was so important. But then she saw her child climbing up and down some kind of play area for the first time. She had a baby going up and down, and that would be such a silly thing to watch, would you think? And instead, go to your papers. But she decided to forsake her newspaper and instead watch her child go up and down, playing and appreciating that moment, that beautiful moment in a park with beautiful sunlight, with her husband just a few feet away, and watching her child. Wow. Another thing is start a collection. Now, some of you collect porcelain, some of you collect rosaries, some of you collect picture frames, all kinds of things. Start a collection. But you know what? It didn't work for her. That's why the book's funny, because the things that she would suggest, and it's an experiment, she would try to do it, and she ended up feeling silly about her collection. I think she wanted to collect some. It's a big thing. I forgot. But anyway, she gave up on that. But who knows? Okay, who knows? You might have a really a passion for collecting something. She realizes, now here's what she realized, that because something is fun for someone, it's not necessarily fun for you. I said that. Finding happiness is finding your own path and experimenting. Next. The next month is June, and it's a time for making friends. Make time for friends. How? Remember birthdays. Be generous. You know, I just saw I'm sorry, I saw a YouTube, no, it's just today, a prayer or a post that said you pay for the bill when you're out with friends, not not for anything else, but because your friends are more important than money. To be generous, get the bill, do something different, give a bigger share of a potluck. You have a potluck, but instead of bringing just the normal thing, bring something that's a wow dish. Okay. Show up. Show up. When you say something, I'll be there, be there. Don't gossip. We know how harmful that is. We know how deadly that is. We know that in the Bible. Make 3 new friends a day. You see, studies showed, like they interviewed centenarians, people who lived to 100 and beyond. Studies showed that the interpersonal relationships of these people were the number one predictor of a healthy, long life. Those with healthy relationships and social interactions, they had life satisfaction and longer life. This was the most important element of a happy life. Underlying stress, value those relationships with friends, not just family. And then there's another idea here where she says, to make yourself happy, make others happy. She realizes that. That's the next slide. And actually, that's not, I think that's not July yet. Anyway, July is buy some happiness through money. But anyway, make yourself happy by making others happy. It's all about thinking of the other person. It's like the golden rule. Whatever, we know that from the Bible, that whatever you do to others, you know. So the other is very important. Hold back criticism, she says. It's very deadly. The more you criticize people or talk negative about people, the more you reflect negative to yourself. Ask questions. Understand when you're conversing with a person, ask questions. Understand when people are looking for opportunity to say more. Because sometimes we can dominate a meeting, we can dominate a conversation. And that's not a very positive thing to do. Listen, give the opportunity for other people to speak, be warm, be warm. Now, July, here we go. It's all about money. Buy some happiness. Okay. The question is, oh, we're done with that slide. Hold back criticism. We're done. Can we move ahead? Here's the question. Can money buy happiness? That's a very, very big question. You might say yes, you might say no. You know, the relationship between money and happiness is complex, but it can boil down to this. Money does not and cannot buy happiness. You know that in the lives of very successful people, celebrities, and all the money, and they end up committing suicide. But here's the thing, the caveat: it can help. It can help. You when you want to send your kids to a very good school, money can help. When you need hospital care, money can help. When you want to take care of parents who are elderly, money can help. When you want to travel the world and have the happiness of seeing places, cities, cultures firsthand, money can help. So it's a delicate relationship. But anyway, The next slide, please. She talks about certain tips about money. Indulge in a modest splurge, but do it rarely. Splurge on something, but not out of this world splurge. Modest splurge. Okay. I don't know what's that amount for you. Maybe splurge with your friends, treat them to a meal, celebrate your birthday, give a treat to your friends. And the other month, my husband had a birthday, and I actually brought we had a meeting in church, and I was not supposed to bring anything, but I decided to bring a big cake from the famous Estrell's cake. And everybody was so happy about the cake because they could eat all they wanted from the cake, and a lot was left over. That is a modest splurge. I didn't need to bring the cake, but I decided it would really be a nice touch for our monthly church meeting. Buy needful things, not what you want, but what you need. Spend out, meaning spend out. If you have extra money, be generous. If you've been hoarding stuff, for example, in the house, and you've been able to accumulate so many things over time, and you don't want to give it up because someday I'll be able to use this beautiful linen for my dining table, for my party. I'll be able to use this beautiful glasses that someone gifted me. I'll be able someday, but not now. I won't use it now. Spend out. Use it now. Enjoy it now. Don't save it for another time. Give something up. We collect all this clutter because we keep on buying stuff and there's no more space to put it. I read somewhere that when you buy a dress, you have to give away a dress. Maybe I should start doing that too. Next idea. He talks about maximizers and satisfiers. Okay. Just looking at the chat box here. Yeah. Yeah. You can always put your comments in the chat box, please, so I know that you're kind of absorbing this. Who are maximizers? They look to all the possible options before buying. So they really are so detailed and they take their time. But the thing is, they waste time and usually end up more unhappy than people who buy as soon as they find something they like. And they are also more regretful when they find new possible options that they could have bought instead of what they bought. So the question is, you can raise your hands. Are you a maximizer? Do you take so long? Or are you a satisficer? Meaning, when you see something, you buy it. Okay, I admit, I'm a satisficer. I think it's a waste of time deciding and dilly-dallying, and for me, time is precious. So I'm a satisficer. Here's another idea. Underbuyers and overbuyers. Underbuyers only buy when something is strictly needed. They are worried. Like, for example, they'll be running out of toilet paper. That's a major problem. Overbuyers have houses full of stuff. They overstuff their houses and they end up throwing it away, or maybe the stock expires. Are you an underbuyer or an overbuyer? I will admit again, you can put your own reflection on yourself. I am an underbuyer because I want to be thrifty and I don't want to put a lot of stuff at home because I'm not handling it. Other people, I mean, the help is. And if they see a lot of stuff available at home, whether it's soap or toilet paper or whatever, they might be wasteful. That's my thinking. That's why I'm an underbuyer. Chad is an underbuyer. Oh, everybody is an underbuyer. Matet is an underbuyer. Yeah, we're all underbuyers. I don't believe in stocking too much, because nga, baka maging wasteful the people who are using it. Here's another comparison. Are you a spender or are you a keeper? Spenders enjoy what they buy. Keeper keep things, eto na, for some distant future. They often never use their beloved product until it's out of style, or maybe they passed away and they haven't used it yet. Are you a spender or a keeper? I am a spender. I buy stuff and I use stuff. Buyers and discarders. Okay. Eto. Some people use things out over and over, trying to squeeze the last tiny bit of value. For example, the razor is dull, but let's really use it. Old underwear, ugly clothes. Are you just hanging on to this, buyers, and you don't want to throw it away? This creates clutter and baggages, okay? Or are you a discarder? I think we really need to be discarders, okay? Matet says slaves to material things. Learn to remove and throw out. So think about all of this. Yeah, spender for gifts, donations, but keeper of memories. Wow. Okay, that's why it's interesting to read, because it stimulates your own thoughts. Thank you. August. August is about contemplate the heavens or think about eternity. Do you know that the more prayerful or spiritual a person is, the better they're able to handle crisis in their life, because they have God in their lives. When a crisis comes, they pray and they cling to God and they know that everything will be all right. And so in August, she focuses on contemplating eternity and the heavens. Focus on spirituality. Read the Bible. Read spiritual books. Join a community of people that praise and worship God, and brothers and sisters who come together and give glory to God. Share the word of God. Read memoirs of the catastrophe. Here she talks about, actually, she read the story of saints. And she was so catastrophe because, yeah, you can also read about other heroes, Churchill, heroes, but for her, the Saint Therese, not Mother Therese, Saint Therese was someone she was so obsessed with. In fact, she bought 17 books about Saint Therese, who died at a very young age. And what was so intriguing about the life of Saint Therese is that she lived a very simple life, and she made a difference doing very ordinary things, not big things, not unusual things, just ordinary things. And so what kind of book is going to inspire you to think more about your spiritual life? Reading the biography of heroes, of saints, and that kind of stuff. Keep a gratitude notebook. When I read his book, I realized this is something I want to do. Okay. Oh, somebody mentioned here that Saint Therese has tantrums, but she surpassed it due to prayers. Yeah. But the thing is, the author here in the book loved her so much because she was so simple. She was just so simple, and she died from tuberculosis, and even in her agony, she was so simple, and she always wanted to be with God. So it's a long that chapter was heavy on Saint Therese, actually. Next, September, pursue a passion. Books, for example. Why not write a novel, a book? You know, in her book, she actually talked about she wanted to write a novel, fiction. Make time for this passion. Forget about results. I mean, the journey is more important than the destination. Master a new technology. There's so so much technology that you can be passionate about. For example, uh, all kinds of things. October, pay attention, mindfulness, meditate on koans. A koan is a statement or question that can't be understood logically. Example of a koan. What was your face before your parents were born? Or here's another koan. Or two hands clap and there is a sound. What is the sound of one hand? This actually Zen Buddhists meditate on koans. It when you meditate on these things, it's a little weird for me. I've never encountered this. It promotes mindfulness because it can't be explained by sheer logic or reason. Examine the rules. Okay, so don't just accept rules, examine rules. For example, here are some rules. My children are my most important priority. Get some exercise every day. Yes comes right away. No, never comes. Get some work done every day. Whenever possible, choose vegetables. I'm in a hurry. Those are her rules. And you have to, ang dami niyang rules. And you have to kind of think about it. Pay attention to it. Is it really a rule? Am I really going to eat vegetables every day? Am I going to do, it's up to you again. Stimulate the mind in new ways. Keep a food diary. When you're mindful of what you eat, you'll be healthier. You write down everything you eat. You'll be slimmer. You'll be happier because you know that you're eating healthy food, not fake food. November, keep a contented heart attitude. Laugh out loud. Very important. Laughter can boost immunity and lower blood pressure and cortisol levels. It increases people's tolerance for pain. Kahit may pain, if you're laughing, it's a source of social bonding. It reduces conflict and confusion, social stress with relationships. And for attracting a partner, laughter is a very important quality. Yung being humorous, it makes a person more attractive to the opposite sex. Nothing makes our lives or the lives of other people more beautiful than perpetual kindness. Use good manners. That's from Tolstoy. Be agreeable. Give positive reviews. Look for positive in everything. Shout out the positive, zip the negative. We teach that. Find an area of refuge. I was wondering what that meant. And an area of refuge is a memory, a picture, a place, or an experience, a memory in your mind, in your heart, that when you think about that memory, you're contented and you are happy. What is that place of refuge that you have? Meron ba? Okay, December. She wraps up everything for the Happiness Project. And again, it is a time of reflection. How did I do with number 1, number 2, March, April, May? Gretchen tries to put everything together and stick to all resolutions she has done in the past 11 months. She realizes that the boost on her happiness came from eliminating all those behaviors, feelings, and pattern of thought that made her feel bad. Next slide. There. So what were those patterns? What were those things that she changed? Maybe you'd like to reflect on it too. Too much clutter. Snapping, especially at your children, at the house help, at your spouse. Nagging, eating bad food. Next page, please. Gossiping, and controlling her sharp tongue. I hope you don't have a sharp tongue, but your tongue can be a dagger. I don't have a sharp tongue. But, well, generally speaking, maybe. But maybe you do. You need to control that. So those were her resolutions. This is what I'm going to stop. And she had actually a resolution chart. Next slide. It helped her. She actually shared this with a lot of people. It's a very effective tool. It helped her focus and review every day her goals, because the secret of your success lies in your daily activity. And finally, she says, the end na to, one of the best ways, and I mentioned this earlier, but I'd like to add, one of the best ways to make myself happy is to make other people happy. One of the best way to make other people happy is to be happy myself. That's what she concluded, this wonderful author, Gretchen Rubin, who's a very talented, very well-read, and beautiful young lady. So we've got to the end of the sharing. Thank you so much. I learned so much, and I hope you did too. Thank you, and back to our MC, Jovi.
Wow. Thank you so much, Olive. Wow, we learned so much from you tonight. I know. Yeah, let's give Olive a virtual clap, guys. Grabe. I was taking down notes, and wow, a lot of thought-provoking reflections you've shared with us tonight. Grabe. Thank you again for sharing your own thoughts, no, Olive, as well as those practical tips from our author, and also some additional inputs. Wow, amazing. So guys, I know you agree with me, and know that that was really a great sharing tonight. Okay, wow. So a lot are chatting, Olive. They learned from you and thanking you for your wonderful sharing tonight. Okay, so guys, I don't think if we will be having a breakout room after, no? Just a quick one, if there would be one, Olive. Okay, so guys, you can yeah, go back to your fan. We will be having a short breakout room. Give us a PM if you don't know yet your breakout room number, or you can ask your fan about it. No, and here in our community, we just very grateful for having this kind of learning tonight. But not just tonight, guys. I'd like to invite you to join us again this coming Sunday, because we will be having another great sharing, and that topic is all about our health. No, so in our community, as I've mentioned to you earlier, we have our three basic principles that we focus on, and that's personal growth, health, and also in business or in wealth. So this Sunday, join us again for another topic that would give much okay information to you, no, powerful information, and that topic would be about hidden sugars. Wow, no other than by our co-founder, the son of our presenter tonight, Ryan Fernandez. So he will be sharing with us about this exciting, wow, it's actually interesting, hidden sugars. So yeah, I think that's it for now. So again, to those who are here, please join your friends in the breakout room so that you can ask them more about our community as well as the programs that we have. So, guys, you've been a great audience. Thank you again, Olive. It's been a great learning session tonight. God bless. See you in the breakout room. Bye, everyone.